Recently, Alina Habba appeared on the Fox Business Channel alongside host Larry Kudlow to whine and moan about the fact that she is allegedly, in her words, shackled by the gag order that, of course, was upheld by an appellate court last week. She told Kudlow that she is not allowed to speak freely because she is shackled, and how horrible it's been for her trying to, defend her client in court without being able to attack the court workers. Because let's not forget, that's all the gag order says. Like, you can say what you want about the judge, you can attack Letitia James all day long if you want. You just can't talk about the staffers inside the court who, by the way, have no bearing on how this whole thing proceeds. So there's really no reason to even talk about them other than, of course, trying to drum up anger with Trump's base against these people for, again, no effing reason. But here is what happened during this exchange. Larry Kudlow asked Alina Habba, quote, "People should understand the Constitution even if Jack Smith and Merrick Garland don't. I mean, I would say that I'm not a lawyer, you're the lawyer, but that's the way I look at it. I'm free. Speech is not against the law. They're stopping free speech downtown in New York, or they did their best to. Does that case finally, this crazy real estate valuation case, which everyone has mocked now for months, anybody in the business has mocked for months. Are you free of those shackles?" Alina Habba said, "No, I am not free of the gag order shackles." Now, before I continue with what Alina Habba said, let me talk about what Larry Kudlow said. Like, Jack Smith and Merrick Garland don't understand how the Constitution works. They do, and you're an idiot who, by the way, doesn't understand how the economy works. That's your job, is to understand the economy and business, and clearly you do not. But Jack Smith and Merrick Garland, to your point there, Larry, because you're very dumb, they're not involved with what's happening in New York, you dumbass. So why would you even bring their names up? Because they're not a part of that. So nice try, but as per usual with your career, a total failure. He then, of course, said, free speech, right? This isn't about free speech. She is free to say whatever she wants within the confines of that gag order. And I know that may seem like an abridge of her freedom of speech, but listen, all she can't do is talk shit about the court workers. That's not even relevant to the case she is trying. Habba continues, though. "My First Amendment rights are definitely not still being taken in some regard, and especially the Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial and litigation, and being able to go there and make objections on this. When I was in the courtroom, I couldn't do it." You can't make an argument that your guy didn't commit fraud without personally attacking a worker in the courtroom? Did you even go to law school? Like, I am genuinely asking that question. Has anybody seen Alina Habba's law school transcripts? I would very much like to see those. I would like to see her LSAT scores. I would like to see her bar exam results. Because she's sitting there telling us blatantly on Fox News that she can't defend her client against accusations of fraud without personally attacking people who work inside the courtroom that did not bring the charges against him. Because that makes no sense. And what also makes no sense is that Larry Kudlow ended the segment by saying, "Alina Habba, thank you very much. Ace Trump lawyer." Ace Trump lawyer, that's probably the most offensive thing you guys said during that segment. What has she won? By the way, literally nothing. She has not won a thing since she started working for Donald Trump. So call her Ace Trump lawyer if you want, but technically they already lost this case. She got sanctioned, as she bragged about the other day, for $1 million for filing a knowingly frivolous lawsuit against Hillary Clinton on behalf of Trump. She has been an utter failure since she came on board. But none of that matters, because these are the Trump cheerleaders, and they're just going to make stuff up, and their audience is going to believe every word of it. If you can't get enough Ring of Fire, we encourage everyone to subscribe to our channel for fresh video content 7 days a week. And for even more from me, you can follow me on all social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @Fair and Balanced.